Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to be doing an analysis of the first training sequence 1. In this training sequence I'll be going over my breathing and the number of reps that I do per minute. I'll also take note of how I'm moving and the quality of my movement when it comes to my body mechanics. I'm only going to do the warm-up and the main part because the exercises that I'm covering are only in those sections of the training session. There is a cool down, but I'm going to focus on that in another video. So I'll go ahead and start with the first set. Alright, in this first set here, we're starting off with the squat. And looking at it, seems like I'm moving at a moderate pace here. It's not really that slow until that last rep. Okay, so the breathing was about moderate in pace. Chin down exercise here. Seems like that's moderate there too as well. Form looks like there could be some improvement because I lost some balance there. So my squat was okay. My chin down could use some improvement. Leg switch through here, not bad. It seems like it's pretty good here so far. Pace is decent. So slow down here for a quick minute to recover and recuperate. So there was some breathing done inside of that. Okay, we're going into the shin box here. So far everything looks okay, especially with this being my first time doing this kind of training sequence. Not too bad. I could clean up a little bit with my form. But, that's the whole point of a baseline. It's just to exercise and do stuff the way you would do it without any correction. Okay. So with this here, and I meant to go over when I exhale. So exhale on the way up from that front push up, and then I'm exhaling one more time on the way back up from the spinal bar up. So I'll go over the exhales more in the next set for the other exercises, because all of these are part of making my total breaths. So we're almost getting toward the end of the first set here. This is the last exercise here. And the pace looked like it was at a moderate speed for the most part so far. Alright, in this graph here, I'm pretty much showing you my breathing and my reps. So as you can see, in the first 2 minutes there, that's how long it took for me to get the first set done. My breathing, it was uncontrolled because I didn't really have nothing to go off of, so this is just me doing it for the first time, so it's all just random pretty much. The only thing that was controlled was the ratio. So I did a 1-to-1 breathing ratio, so for every rep on every concentric phase of my movement where the muscle is contracted, I exhaled out, and that's where the breath occurred. And I also calculated it by calculate the total number of breaths and reps at the 1 minute mark and before the 1 minute mark, and I would say in this case before each minute mark. So once it hits like 1 minute and 1 second, then I start taking the totals for the next minute. So the 2 minute mark was done, I started calculating that at 1 minute and 1 second. So that's that there. So yeah, this graph pretty much shows me my breathing, and it shows that it's not controlled, but the only thing that is cool that you can see is that the breathing parallels with my rep count. So we'll go ahead and look at the second set. Okay, I'm going in transition here. So there's a few breaths taken in transition here. Alright, so in the squat exercise, I'm exhaling each time I lean to the side. and my inhale should be in transition before I get to the other side. Put the shin down. Each time my knee touches the ground, there's an exhale. And for the leg switch through, each time my leg goes through, I'm doing an exhale there. And the form and the pace looks like it's at a normal speed. Form look good there, the shin box. Alright, going back into the frog push-up. Starting it out. So yeah, my hips can be higher on that one. I'll go into more detail with that mechanic when I do a movement analysis. And with this one, my shoulders could be retracted back a little bit as I do the cannonball curl there. All right, and for the second set here, we've got 4 minutes where it ended at. So with the trend line here, with it being an increase from the 2 minute to 3 minute mark, and then a decrease with the 4 minute mark from the 3 and the 4 minute mark, what that's showing is that my breathing elevated really high, and I would probably even say that it got out of control, because with my breathing being that high, I'm like, I just didn't have control over my breathing. And then my body naturally kicked in and say, hey, we got to bring this down. It's getting, because you got to avoid hyperventilation. So it brings it down naturally by making you fatigue, where you can't move as fast. And when you can't move fast, you move slower, and naturally the breathing goes slower. But of course that doesn't work forever, as you can see later on down the line. So we'll go into the third set and get going. Okay, we're in the third set here. And moving probably faster than what we were moving in the previous sets. I think it's still moderate. And as you can see there with the form, all the way back, about to fall backwards just about. So yeah, you can use a lot of improvement there. Looking at the next switch through. Yeah, so I was in some, seemed like I don't think I was in pain, but the muscle fatigue really crept in on me. So I really felt the burn. Yeah. Alright, so I did a random inhale, exhale there, as you guys could see earlier. So that's how you know I'm just randomly breathing. I don't have a pattern or anything. I'm not randomly breathing inside the exercises, but in between and transition, my breathing gets away. Alright, not too bad there. Alright, so in this third set, You can see that my breathing and my movement is paralleling with each other. Even though there is more breathing, there's not many reps there, but the extra breaths are coming in between these exercises. So as I recovered in the 4th minute after my body shut me down and made me hit a fatigue threshold, I was able to utilize that energy and increase my breathing, but it made me it came with a cost. So you'll see in this next set coming up. Okay, so it seems like I'm trying to move at a very fast pace here, because this is the 4th set. So it's the last set before the main part, which would be the working set. Tried to move fast and fell on the butt. So this is what happens when your breathing is not controlled and you want to ramp up things. The body just doesn't let you, because it's saying, hey, we're at a threshold. So the body sends the internal signals to the muscles, and the muscles don't have the energy that it needs to perform the way you want it to perform. So yep, moving it really slow there in that one because of the fatigue that set inside the body. So about 8 minutes in the training session, and it seems as if I've hit my fatigue threshold. But we're not even in the main part. That's the working sets here. That's sets 5 and the rest of them. So yeah. All right. So as you can see here, in this 4th set, the total number of reps that I did 22 at the 8th minute. But it cost me, because even though I was able to get that many, my breathing rate skyrocketed up again, and it ended up costing me to where I had to compromise for the first set of my main part, which are actually the working sets, where I really start to build on my endurance and everything else there. I'm supposed to work inside those sets there, the main part, not the warm-up. So I went a little overboard in the beginning there, and then right at the end, I was thinking, okay, maybe I can set a good tempo before the main part, but I went overboard. So I had to end up compromising, and you'll see what I had to compromise with when we get to the 5th set coming up. Alright, so if you look closely, these next exercises coming up here, you will see what I had to compromise in order to continue on this transition. And I like doing this transition over here because I did it for the reps, because it looked cool, I guess. But yeah, okay, now that was 4 reps in that squat, and this is going to be 4 reps in the shin down here. That's 4 there. Yeah. So in my mind, I was like, there is no way I'm getting 6. I'm too exhausted. It's painful to do these exercises because I didn't know what I was doing at first. So, yeah, that was the compromise there. So I still had, well, the workout, of course, you know, if you're having poor form like this and, you know, not breathing good, experience is bad. Yeah, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. All right, so this set ended quick because it was cut down to 4 reps each exercise. Okay, and then, so you can see my breathing went down because of the compromise. That helped with lowering the breathing some, but then it was still elevated because my heart rate was probably really high. You can't really see it here because I don't have the monitor, but yeah, it stayed that way for a while. Even this is even with lower reps. So it just shows, you know, and it could be too, it's been a while since I was exercising, so I might be out of shape a little bit here too. But I think if I had, you know, a better breathing pattern, I would be able to go, and better technique, I would be able to do all of it. And my ratios wouldn't be like this. But we'll go on ahead and go over to the next set. So in this next set here, you can see, you know, we're going through. I'm trying to go with as fast as the pace as I can here. With that being, you know, just 4 reps here. Oh yeah, you can see where the pain is at in the hips. And yeah, all that grimacing that you see right there, that's just, you know, me feeling the pain in the hips and my legs. So I'm moving really slow here. Yep, fatigue is at its highest. I'm really just trying to work through that fatigue as best as I can. But I commend myself because I stuck with it. Okay, so in this, I would say this is the 6th set here. So you can see the breathing it elevated at its peak again, and then now it's gradually de-elevating there, which is good. That means I'm establishing some kind of control now over the breathing. The reps went up, you know, slightly there, so we're getting a better sense of, I'm naturally just getting a better sense of how I should be energy wise, but it took a lot of fatigue and pain to get there at that point. So we'll go ahead and go to the 7th set, which is the last set. Oh no, we got one more set after that, so we'll go ahead and go to the 7th set. Alright, so there I go there. Taking my head, and we're inside the exercise. So yeah, I'm trying to will myself there. Because that's just how much fatigue I have inside the body. And luckily, you know, me being able to look at all this, I'm able to make my changes. So yeah, it was real pain. I should have just allowed myself to go higher in my squat instead of trying to stay low, but when I can't handle that, in those conditions would be being, really exhausted. So I'm glad I lowered my rep count because that helped me with managing the best there. Also kept me from doing anything worse, like injuring myself. Alright, so now you can see that I'm finally getting everything back under control. My breathing rate's going down. My movement pace has stabilized. So even though my breathing rate was not under control, 13, 15, 14, and 15, that's really good. That's a good steady state movement pace. So that's what I want to aim for with all my matrices, to be able to be stable and steady. So now we'll go ahead and look at the last set. Okay, so I'm taking a break here because of all the exhaustion. I'm trying to pray to the gods to help me through this last set. Okay, so this part here, I knew it was in the last set, so I was trying to tough it out a little bit. Just to try to finish as strong as I could. Despite all this things. One thing I can tell from my experience with this last set here, I commend athletes. I commend anybody who has to do a lot of physical activity, because it's really rough on the body. Especially, it's even rougher when you don't have the guidance and you just doing this naturally. It's even rougher there. So, I commend all those out there. But this is why, I'm doing this, so I can show people that there's a better way. And the ways to keep everything stable and steady, as you can see in these graphs. Let's get ready to come up again. And that's it for this last one. So in the last set there, I was able to stabilize my breathing out before the cool down, which is really important. So that means my heart rate will be able to come down easier too. So I did a fast decline from 13-minute to 14-minute mark, but then from there I was able to stabilize out. So that's good there because of the slow movement and pace and things like that. So overall, not too bad of a first start. Just have a few things to work on. So this shows the total time spent for each body part. So as you can see, this is mostly a core dominant exercise, with the abs being at 6 minutes and 56 seconds, and then my arms and my legs being the next highest. So if you want a ab, arms, and leg workout mostly, then this would be a great training session for you to do here. Of course, you'll do them with the corrections the right way. You don't do them the way I did it in this video. But yeah, in the end, I got a nice little treat for you after this, and it should be coming up in a little bit. So this is just a showing in real time of my graph, and that just shows you how my pace looks in real time. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.